We just bought 2.5 acres of raw land in Alaska, and our goal is to turn this property from what you see here into a fully off-grid cabin. But before we can build anything, we have a lot of work to do. For the next 7 days, we're going to be knocking trees down, cutting in a 300-foot driveway, battling horrendous mosquitoes, camping in our RV, and making amazing meals.
And hopefully by the end, we'll have something that looks like the future home of our cabin. We're Jenny and Justin. Let's get to it. By the way, we don't really have any experience, so we're flying by the seat of our pants here.
So we've got an excavator rental on its way, and we're just getting ready to start work here. Got our culvert. We've got a 30-foot, 15-inch diameter culvert with the locking bands, a 20-foot and a 10-foot. And the driveway's going to go right up in through there. I have never touched an excavator in my life. I don't even know how to turn them on, but gonna figure it out in real time with you guys. So our overall plan is to build a 24-foot by 32-foot cabin with a loft. We're gonna be doing all the work of clearing the land, putting in the driveway, building the entire cabin on our own with essentially no experience. So we're gonna be learning as we go. We're also gonna be paying for it as we go, paycheck by paycheck. And the goal is to have no debt with this project. Along the way, we're gonna be sharing all of our costs with you guys, be fully transparent. That way, if you've ever tossed around the idea of building an off-grid cabin like this, hopefully these videos will help answer that question. So for those of you that have been following us for a while, you'll notice that this is kind of different content for us. We are still going to be doing our camping and adventuring content, but as we progress with our off-grid cabin build, we are going to be mixing these in. There's going to be a little bit more variety on the channel.
So we're going to start labeling the driveway. It's going to be right about here. I don't know if you can see those flags, but it's going to be about 12 foot wide with a 25-foot flare out and a 30-foot culvert. While we're waiting for the excavator to get delivered, we're just going to mark everything up so that we're ready to rock and start knocking trees down. All the way over here.
All right, now the real work begins. I have never even touched an excavator before, so you guys are going to be seeing some learning in real time here. Yeah. Oh. What do we got here? What's this stick do? All right, I'm going to go for it here. I think this goes down. Got a throttle. Whew. Oh, this is a little unstable feeling at first. That's okay. Well, this has definitely taken some time to get used to the controls, but figuring it out little by little. I already crushed a culvert over here by pinching it too much with the thumb, so always got to have a mishap. At least we're getting it out of the way early. So we're doing a 30-foot culvert. We've got a 20-foot section and a 10-foot section. One of these locking bands. We're going to bolt them together, couple them together. And we've got geotextile fabric underneath. And pretty soon here we're going to be getting our first load of gravel so we can get the RV off the road because we're right on the road right now. Let's get back to it and make this happen. Well, that was more of a workout than I was expecting, but this is what that locking band looks like. Couples this piece to this piece. This is the geotextile fabric. What this is for is so when we lay gravel down, the gravel doesn't just push into the dirt over time. We'll be graveling over top of this all 300 feet of the driveway. And by the end of this, I'm going to be an expert excavator operator. Say that 3 times fast. All right, we're going to get the fabric rolled up a little bit, and I'm going to go back plowing through the forest, making our way to our cabin site.
Well, the gravel guy was just here and he gave us some really good information. Our property actually has native gravel about a foot down, so we don't really need the road fabric.
He actually sat with us for about 20 minutes and talked to us, gave us a lot of information. Super nice guy, but with the native gravel that we aren't going to even need to put gravel down for the most part. So we're going to follow the gravel, the native gravel, up to our cabin location. If there are any low spots where we have to dig deeper, then he can bring in some truckloads, but he just saved us probably $3,500 worth of cost here if this works out. I'm going to try to cross this Mariana Trench for the first time. You guys are gonna watch it in case I flip.
Who's taking bets? Something's gonna happen.
That was sketch.
Good morning, everybody. Justin went ahead and just knocked a bunch of stuff out last night, kind of boring. This morning we're going to be making some breakfast so I can get him back on the excavator, and we're starting with coffee. Usually I'm working over a fire, so it's kind of nice to have all the amenities. I'm not awake yet.
Either.
Spritz of vanilla, because we're sassy this morning. Fresh strawberries for the top. What are you guys doing for breakfast today? Are you working? Are you staying home? Are you going on an adventure? What are you guys doing? I need to know these things. Garlic. Start your day off right. To top off the pancakes, we have some fireweed jelly. This one is made in Homer by Adventure Harvest. Really good stuff.
Breakfast of champions. I like my hairdo. Worked on it all night. Well, we are back out here and we had a little bit of change of plans. I think we're gonna go back to plan A. After talking to the gravel guy, we tried digging down to the native gravel, and a little bit further in, we just started hitting sand and pretty deep. So due to my lack of kind of knowledge of how this stuff works, I'm gonna just stick to plan A, which is laying out the road fabric after I level the stuff out and put 2-inch minus gravel over top of that, 6 inches thick, and that's gonna be our driveway. Well, the gravel guy showed up, dropped another load. I've spread it a little bit, but I'm gonna lay the fabric down and then start spreading it over top of that. If he has more time, he's gonna bring more gravel, and we're gonna start moving this in and making our way up the driveway. The plan is I'm just gonna rough it in. As you can see, that's not very smooth. I'm roughing it all the way back into where the cabin is. Then I'm gonna come back and widen everything out and shape it and smooth it out. It has definitely taken me a little longer than expected to get used to the controls of this excavator, but we got a lot of seat time today, and hopefully by the end of the day, I'll be locked in and rocking it. By the way, brought mosquito spray and a mosquito head net because they have been horrible. The mosquitoes are already bad in Alaska, but when you come through with an excavator and give them all an eviction notice, wakes them up and they really start flying. So got protection today. Let's get to work. Well, it's slow going, but it's starting to look like a driveway entrance. I'm just running the excavator back and forth, trying to compact this stuff. The gravel guy said if I pack it really, really good, he will be able to back onto it to dump the loads further and further down instead of me hauling it back and forth, which would take forever. I gotta say, usually when I'm doing a project that's outside of my wheelhouse and kind of area of comfort, there comes a time where I start feeling good and like, okay, I think I got this. That time hasn't come yet. I am feeling a little bit overwhelmed, but I think we're gonna be able to do this. It is only day 2 and I've made the way most of the way back, but there's still a lot of work ahead. Making progress. Time to fuel up, and I'm going to show you how we're going to do that now.
Oh.
Excellent.
Oh, the skeeters are bad. I don't know if you guys can see them or not, but
Yeah, they're horrendous.
awful.
It does not help that we are tilling up the land.
Yeah.
So right now, trying to get the sides of the driveway cleared out, not the vegetation, just the piles that I've made. That way we have room to snowplow this winter. Well, I think that's enough work for today. Gonna make our way back to the camper now, get some much needed rest, and start bright and early tomorrow.
Welcome to Camper Cooking with Jenny. I'm super excited. Today we are going to have a zucchini steak quinoa bowl.
Sounds
It's gonna
good.
be really good. Gonna get some garlic going. You guys didn't see that. If you've been watching, you know that Justin and I definitely like our garlic.
Yes, garlic is life.
And death.
Yeah.
All right, get the zucchini cut up. I don't want these too thin because then they'll cook too fast and be mushy, and I don't want that. We have some grated Parmesan. I'm just going to sprinkle that on top of the zucchini.
Looking like a little restaurant in here.
Yeah. You know, life is too short not to be a spaz.
It's almost like tongs would be better. You could pinch them instead of accidentally flipping them over.
You mean these?
Yeah.
Hi!
Oh, there goes the
No!
concept of tongs.
Well, we should use tongs.
Takes a little bit of a... Oh. What is happening?
I've never used tongs to get zucchinis out. I don't know.
Looks like you never used tongs ever.
Hey, watch it. Now that this is up to room temperature, you're supposed to slap it. That's what I'm told. So we're gonna get it peppered.
And we forgot to bring the salt, so...
You know what else we forgot to bring? Justin literally forgot to bring socks and underwear. We weren't gonna say anything, but we literally have to wash them every night before we go to bed so they have time to dry.
Yeah, I'm rocking one pair of undies all week. Turning them inside out, though, I can get 2 days out of them.
Ooh. Huh? Okay. We're gonna get the sauce ready. A half a cup of plain Greek yogurt. Half a teaspoon of paprika. It's calling for smoked, but we're just not that fancy. Garlic powder. Should probably get the garlic added in now. The flavors are flavoring. I can smell them.
It's smelling awfully nice in here.
Do you happen to have any Grey Poupon? Thanks, babe. Thanks. Splash of lemon. Ooh.
Colorful.
This is a treat. Usually we're smoked out by campfires and caveman style cookery.
Singeing all the hairs on our arms off, or my arms at least.
Yeah.
Man.
Never made this before. Sauce. It's kind of thick, but. All right. Going in. Ooh. This is really good. Yeah. If you guys are interested in the recipe for anything that we make, we'll put it down in the description below.
That was delicious. I think we're gonna hunker down for the night. We'll see you guys in the morning for another day of work. Well, we are back out for another day of excavation. Well, there's what we've got so far. We've got 3 loads that have been dropped off. 2 of them pretty much took this whole culvert area, so working our way up. Today I'm just gonna be cleaning up the sides and widening this and just keep dumping gravel. Well, the gravel guy just dropped off more gravel. I think we might be able to park the camper on here today. If I can get it spread out and leveled out real nice and packed. So let's get to work. Well, I ran into some mud. Everything has been nice, hard, packed kind of clay and sand and everything. And then I get up here and it's, well, doesn't look like it right now, but oh yeah, there you go. So I read online, if you do get to mud, to dig the mud out till you get to dry, hard dirt and then backfill it with dry, hard dirt and pack it in. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Hopefully that works. Still a little bit soft. Hopefully when the sun hits it, it'll help kind of dry that out. But I did dig out most of the mud that was still frosted and melting. So hopefully this works out. If nothing else, we're gonna have a soft spot in our driveway here that I'm gonna have to fix later. By the way, this 2-inch minus, I don't know if I said, this is $300 a load. We've got 4 loads so far, so we're sitting at $1,200. That's delivered, $300 delivered. Took a lot, that culvert with that flare out's 25 feet, but I calculated and budgeted for 10 to 11 loads. I may be way short on that, and if so, cost is gonna be a little higher than I expected, but flying by the seat of my pants here. I did some basic math, 300 feet times 12 feet to get the square footage, and then times half a foot for 6 inches deep. So we're gonna keep on going. By the end of this week, I'm hoping it's starting to look like it's possible that we can actually get this driveway put in, which is pretty exciting. Tore the driveway up a little there, getting onto it with the excavator to switch out the bucket. All right, we got the gazebo set up with the mosquito be away from us netting around it. Jenny's in there not getting eaten alive, which is fancy for her. I have been in an air-conditioned excavator, so it's a rough life, but someone's got to live it. You can see there's a low spot there. I need to keep this kind of the same level and fill in this area. So I'm thinking it's time for some chainsaw work. I'm gonna de-limb some of these trees so I can pluck them, get them stacked out of the way, and hopefully scoop some dirt from there that I can fill in here and level this out. Let's get to it. You know what? This is starting to look like an actual property. Went from thick forest that you can't even hardly walk through to something that looks like it's actually going to be a home of our cabin, which is really exciting. I think I finally hit that point that I was talking about earlier where I think we can actually pull this off. Getting really excited. Gravel guy just dropped off another load. I spread it out and he's going to grab another one now, and we're just plowing our way in. And I think we are on the home stretch. All right, day 4, we've made our way in about 150 feet. The plan today is the gravel truck is gonna go just bam, 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 just keep feeding us loads, and hopefully we'll be gravel to the end of our driveway at the end of this. Then I'm gonna be smoothing it out, shaping it, because it's kind of rough right now, not gonna lie. This is not a learning curve type of thing. This is just straight up with this, but super rewarding though. I'm glad we're doing this ourselves. By the time this cabin is done, we are gonna have put in every nail, every piece of gravel, everything on our own, and that's kind of the rewarding thing we're looking forward to. So we're learning as we go. If you guys have any suggestions along the way of this cabin build, feel free to drop them in the comments, because we read every single comment and we try to respond to every single comment as well. All right, let's get to work. This thing takes the diesel down quickly, that's for sure. We got this blue pump on Amazon. I'll leave a link to it in the description below, but it threads into a 55-gallon barrel. Filled this thing with diesel, hook it up to a battery, and it makes quick work of refueling. Okay, I gotta get mosquito spray before I even start here. This is bad. You know, if there was one thing I would change about Alaska, there's only one thing. That'd be getting rid of all the mosquitoes in this place. It's horrendous. If you haven't been able to tell, I hate wearing bug spray. Although this 100% DEET works, it is some potent stuff. Does not feel natural. Sure beats getting eaten alive though. Mosquitoes, man. Let's flip a switch. And we'd be fueling. Letting the money pump in. I estimated 20 gallons per day doing this. I think I overestimated a little bit, which is a good thing, because I severely underestimated on the gravel. How big is this tank? Jeez! Now we got a squeaky tree up there. Sounded like a little screaming baby for a second there. That's kind of creepy. So I've got this geotextile fabric laid out all the way instead of just rolling it now, because he's bringing loads. As you can see, we're making really good progress. We're on the home stretch. I've got these staples here that I'm pinning it down with because it's starting to get a little windy. I'm gonna pin this down so it stays put and just keep spreading. I don't know if you can hear that or see it, but it's starting to rain, which is actually a good thing. This gravel needs that moisture to compact. Otherwise it kind of just squishes out when it's really dry. So almost like concrete, not quite, but it's the moisture's a good thing right now, in moderation, as with a lot of things in life. Well, we're almost there. I think we've got 2 more loads and we are done with this driveway. At the beginning of this adventure, I didn't know that I was going to be able to plow this all the way in and gravel in 1 week. And we're on day 4. We've got the excavator for 7 days. Pretty happy. There's been a couple things I had to figure out along the way, but next step after this is going to be plowing further in and clearing out a spot for our cabin. So we thought we were done with the gravel. We are not. I think we're gonna go ahead and widen this right here, as you can see. That way when we bring the trailer here and we start building things, we have room to park the trailer out of the way and get machinery and material in. So we're gonna lay down more geotextile fabric here, and I've got 4 more loads coming tomorrow. That brings us to 19 loads for this project. At $300 a load, that's $5,700 in gravel. Got a little bit of a soft spot here, so I'm gonna see how deep it is and dig it out and replace it with a, oh, it's not very deep at all, it's just surface stuff.
What kind of dance is that? Oh my gosh.
We're not putting that on there.
Maybe we should start a Patreon so people can see the super weird stuff we do.
Only dances.
Some of the spruce on our property has been killed by the Japanese spruce bark beetle. Very unfortunate, but we do have a lot of baby spruce popping up all over the property, so. Welcome to the Driveway Cooking Show with your host, me. Today we are having a subscriber suggested meal from Paperlater 8708. He suggests that we try Jamaican food. So today I'm going to be making Jamaican jerk chicken for dinner.
Woo.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to this. Thanks.
Tone it back. In this bowl we have sand, clay, fill dirt, you know, excavator stuff. I'm just kidding. There's actually a ton of spices in here, as you can see. We've got allspice, thyme, we've got brown sugar, we've got pepper, nutmeg. We'll leave all of this stuff down in the description below if you guys are curious, which I know you are. So all of this stuff is going to go in the blender. Right here we have habaneros, which usually this recipe calls for Scotch bonnets, but we had a heck of a time finding those in the Alaska stores. So we're gonna roll with these babies. We've got garlic, onion, we're gonna have some lime juice, some scallions, and there's some various sauces that we're gonna be putting into this mix for the marinade. Just enough so it can jump around the blender. These delimbed, probably cut off too much. I'm not crying. You're crying, not me. This is gonna be really flavorful. Probably the most flavorful thing that I've ever made. There's a lot of ingredients. I'm actually kind of excited to see how things go. And I'm not gonna be choking over a fire to make it. That's even better. For those of you that are new to the channel, go back and take a peek at some of our other videos. You'll notice that we do most of our cooking over a fire when we're camping, and we don't ever camp in a camper. So this is definitely luxury for us. The juice of 1 lemon. Lime. The juice of 1 lime.
Where's your grip strength? There you go. Get every last drop out of there.
Going in with some soy sauce. A white vinegar. It calls for the juice of 1 orange, but I'm gonna have pre-juiced orange. Anyway, it's going in. Previously juiced orange. Olive oil. What are you guys making for dinner tonight? Share those recipes, guys. We need ideas. Keep them coming. We're gonna blend this until it's smooth. Let's unplug this. Take a whiff of this. Oh, whoa.
Some potent stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy cow. It smells great. It's just,
It is very strong.
yeah, like peppery, take your breath away.
Dang, that smells freaking delicious.
Yeah. Going in. It's not awkward. All right, we're gonna get some holes poked in here so we can get stuff marinated deeply into the meat. So we're gonna get this mixture poured in here, and I'm gonna massage it into the meat to make sure that we're getting all the flavor and all the good spots.
You could say you're a master marinator.
I am. I am going to put this back in a bag and let it marinate for, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours. And then we're going to get it on the grill. I am putting all of my faith into this Ziploc bag that it will not leak in our refrigerator. All right. There she is. Into the fridge it goes. We're going to let that sit in there for a few hours and we'll be back with the barbecue. You know what time it is, guys. It's time to cook some meat. It's not for you.
Mosquitoes are horrendous.
Yeah, they're really bad. Yes! Oh,
man.
That smells amazing.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So let's take that over. I got jerky hands. Ow!
Oh, I'm not the one burning myself this time.
By the way, this is really hot, and I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to be. We're gonna let this bad boy sit for a while, and I'm gonna come back and make some Cajun barley couscous. We're gonna mix the Jamaican with some Louisiana cuisine.
Look at the mosquitoes there. Just crazy. We got a couple of these thermocells just started up. I don't know why we didn't do it sooner. Yeah, they like the Jamaican food.
Yeah, man. Oh man. Very delicious. I'll stop looking when you stop looking. Alright, this is getting awkward. It's couscous time. And in true Jenny fashion, we always forget something, and I forgot the lid to the pan, so we're just gonna wing it.
Can you tell them what else you did with the chicken?
I dropped it off camera. Why did you have to throw me under the bus?
How many did you drop off camera?
I dropped 2 off the...
Feel bad.
You're gonna eat it, and you're gonna like it.
You eat that off the ground, you hear what I said? Just kidding. Just kidding, guys. She wouldn't let me treat her like that, even if I wanted to.
Oh yeah.
Time to eat.
Game on, babe.
Maybe I'll carry the chicken just to be safe.
I heard that.
Yeah, you know what you're not hearing? Chicken hitting the ground.
Golly, you see what I have to deal with, guys? I cook him a meal. And then he ends up handing it back to me so he can go up the stairs.
No, so I can film. All right. Jerk chicken and couscous. Gonna taste some flavors today. Also, just for safety's sakes, I got the Skeeter Yeeter, also known as the Nope Paddle, the Zap Daddy, the Lightning Spoon. Dude, that is really delicious, and it's not spicy either. We're gonna have to do this more often.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that's really good.
Yeah.
Like, really good. Thanks again, Later Paper 8708. You rock. That was a really good suggestion.
All right, morning of day 6. As you can see, I've broken out the big guns because I'm tired of spraying myself with chemical warfare. But we've got the gravel guy coming with 4 more loads today. Gonna finish out this extension, and we are done with the driveway at that point. Then we're just gonna keep on finishing up as much of the cabin build area as we can until we have to give the excavator back tomorrow. Almost done.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're looking like. We got to move the trailer here tomorrow so I can actually level this out a little bit better because the trailer's kind of blocking some of the road here. But we're getting 1 more load. I'm going to put it down the driveway just a little bit to level out some low spots, and that's it. On our own, with no help. Saved money, saved thousands of dollars. Pretty awesome.
All right, time for the big reveal. We put in the driveway, has a bend up to a platform for our camper and parking area. We also cleared out a spot for our future cabin and for the area we're gonna have all of our solar set up.
And for the part a lot of you probably been waiting for, the total cost breakdown for everything to put this driveway in. For the geotextile fabric, we bought a full roll, which I think was 432 feet. That was $525. Staples, we bought 400 of them. We probably could have bought 50 and gotten away with that, so it was unneeded cost in our case, but $50 for that. Diesel for the excavator, I overestimated how much we were going to be used, fortunately, and we ended up spending $278 in diesel to run the excavator. The culvert and locking band, that was $956. That's for a 30-foot culvert, 15-inch diameter. The excavator rental, which was a Bobcat E88, it's about 20,000 pounds, just under that. For 40 hours or 1 week, it was $2,200. The 2-inch minus gravel for the driveway, I estimated 10 to 11 loads, ended up at 19, a little bit off there. And that was the biggest cost of the whole thing, came to $5,700 in gravel. So a total cost for the entire driveway put in by ourselves, $9,709. But if we would have had a contractor do this, it would have cost a lot more money, and we ended up learning some skills and have the satisfaction of knowing that we did this on our own.
So this is kind of a teaser video. We aren't able to build right away as this is going to be a paycheck build, so we're building as we save.
So the build's not going to start this year, but when it does, we're going to have regular cabin build content mixed in with our camping and adventure content. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you on the next video.
Have a good one.